What is up, bros? Me, Josh. In today's video, we are going over the newest operation that just shipped with the recent patch, and that is Cherry Blossom. Now, this is an interesting one. This is one we got to test out on the PTS, and now it's officially live. And there are some small changes, nothing too crazy, but in the end, it's still basically the same thing. It brings us the first time you've ever seen nighttime scenarios. So, what I've always kind of said about these operations is that they are a kind of, in my imagine, they're kind of a testing ground for a lot of potential usage of new play styles, new things that they could add to the game. And I think this is a great way to test a lot of stuff that could potentially come to World of Warships, and potentially night battles is something a lot of people have wanted for a long time and could easily be part of it. In Cherry Blossom, you will be going against a wave and waves and waves of ships and planes as they try to take out a lot of these regiments are here that you're trying to basically stay safe. Now, of course, with the nighttime, you can see this little nighttime emblem. It cuts down your ability to see extra distances. As you can see, once we get down to this, you'll see my my detectability go way down. And then also, if you go into these areas as they're slowly lit up, as you can see, there'll be more and more of these flares. They'll be able to light ships, and then the enemy ships will be able to focus them because they'll be lit, but they can stay dark. As you can see, Cleveland would normally have upwards of 9-10 kilometer detection, and right now it's only 5.6, so it's almost cutting your detection in half. And so it could be something that would be kind of interesting, kind of like a cyclone, if you will, but this could, with the certain flares, as you can see, they're slowly adding in flares. So you kill this first wave, and then you have to defend these regiments that are actually on the shore, and so you got to kind of protect all these. And this is actually kind of one of the more difficult parts. All in all, this isn't that hard of an operation. It actually was a little bit harder on the PTS. It seems like they maybe even eased it up a bit, but it seemed relatively easy, and it seems like people are kind of having an easier time getting 5 stars even with pugs. Still, I think operations are a pretty cool way to just get in there, have some fun, get some free rewards, and but this is probably one of the harder parts. Luckily, we did have a Charles who's relatively quick, and you do have the kind of setup as you saw was pinging in these other areas. A couple of ships over here, a couple of ships over here. We have our faster ships going south. We protected our first guys, as you see in the top left corner, maintain the position of the Marines regiment, and then save at least 4 ships on our team. So of course you go in with 7. And you got to keep at least 4 of those ships alive, which we actually almost have some trouble with. But this is one of the harder parts, though, is getting down and killing these Miyoko. So if you are doing this and you want a better chance to 5-star this, be sure to get people heading towards those, because remember, even on the public test server, we one-shot this on the live server. But we had trouble with those getting killed on the public test server because we were just out of range. You can use any of the tier 8 cruisers, and we used Cleveland. For me, seemed to be the best just because of the high rate of fire, so many destroyers, the high AA, and radar, sonar, all these kind of things. So lots of consumables to use, and as you can see, I'm lighting these up with radar as other people can start to work on them. But any tier 8 is going to be good. The Baltimore is extremely good too, because it absolutely smacks the cruisers. The Kutuzov was extremely good because of high A. Anything with high A, because you're going to start seeing waves and waves of ships, is going to be a really good one. The Edinburgh is good as well. The Royal Navy, because it has a extra heal, so if you do take a bunch of damage. As you can see, there's more and more flares going out, which are these little circles on the map. So it's kind of cool. It's the first time we've really honestly seen anything like this. And the more and more those go up, they're going to illuminate, of course, the ships that are going in. They'll illuminate your ship. So if you were spotted and really weren't, they could probably shoot blind, and you would start taking a ton of damage. But once we get these killed, we're going to slowly start rolling, and then the next set of ships is coming in. As you can see, the first group of ships in the bottom left corner are basically out of the way, and we're kind of moving, and a lot of our guys are starting to float middle. And we're going to slowly take down this Miyoko with our Cleveland. I mean, I like the Cleveland because it's such a high rate of fire, and as you can see, the illumination bomb, I'm just within the range, so that's going to be going off a little bit, and slowly just kind of working towards this guy. So, and you can even see here, fire at the surface, targets sees the enemy is retreating. So we started to push them back, right? So you've gone through these first couple waves, your regiments. I mean, this is basically a full clan of players. These are all players from our clan, and we still had that on about 30%, so that's actually kind of nuts. It's still even kind of tough to get there because there are just a bunch of waves of these destroyers. But if you allocate a couple ships that way, you're gonna not really have that big of a problem. It's just losing track of, let's say, a smaller ship, because these bots will continue to shoot their guns. It could potentially be a problem. But they're gonna roll, down they go, and we can start rotating towards the west side. Now they have actually moved some stuff on this. The island, I feel like, used to be a little bit farther over here. You used to have to take down an aerodime right here, but it really seems like here, and actually this one kind of popped up out of nowhere, this Akizuki. So it seemed like they may have changed some spawns with some ships. I don't remember this ship ever popping up, and I was kind of testing it to see how the AP worked. When the AP changes on DDs, if they ever do put that in, this is going to be kind of interesting to see how much this will smash against the destroyer like this. But as you can see, some CBs have come in, and we need to protect those. One thing about these CBs is they do add a healing ring. So if you are low, like I'm relatively low, we had a couple ships that are pretty low, you can go in there and actually get a nice little boost of life. I think it's about 300 per tick. They end up overlapping, both of the CBs do. And this kind of starts, you start out in the nighttime, and then you slowly work over into the daytime. So this is when it's starting to get a little bit lighter. As you can see, the box on top is slowly getting lighter. But if you are low, go and heal. It's not that big of a deal. You do have some time to kind of, we have a couple ships that basically overextend here. As you see, our Chappie and our Cleveland overextend. And they end up getting picked on a little bit. You can kind of slow down here, and as you can see, Bunker Hill, starting repairs, stay close. So if you need that repair, go back and do it. I believe each CB repairs at 150 per tick, but they do overlap as long as they are alive. So that's something that I was doing, and this guy, this was almost pretty embarrassing right here. But nice little 4K salvo, inertia fuse on Cleveland, so good. And we're smashing that. So I get greedy right here, and didn't think that the bot launched torps on me, because they tend to shoot first, launch torps later. So I thought I was dead right here. This was actually kind of scary. And one thing that's really nice is to set up somebody over in this side of the map. I got super lucky here, super lucky. On this side to stop this flank. That's what I like to do, kind of set up in this area right here. And they used to have a spot over here, but then they moved them both of these. So you can see both of these spots. The Zao is going to pop up here. So there's kind of boss mode ships a little bit, some stronger ships. And I'm trying to just hold down this area for ships that are pushing in. But we're going to start seeing the enemy planes, and there are plenty. So you do want to, if you are low, you do want to stick around ships that have IAA. You do want to bring AA consumable, although Hydro is nice because of the amount of torps. You do want to bring AA. I recommend bringing AA over Hydro. But there are going to be 2 aerodymes that show up, and you have to knock those down. As you can see, the first one pops up, which is right here. And there's going to be another one that's over here. As you see, I'm pinging. That's where one used to be. So I was surprised that they changed it up a little bit. But I'm going to work towards the middle. Like, I kind of rotated this way, figuring that this is going to be like the old one. But they must have changed this, so I just must have missed it. So as you see, we're going to ball up, knock out some stuff. As you see, our Chappie kind of overextended a little bit. He's actually going to get picked on. Even one of our Clevelands is taking some torps. There's a lot of planes that come in. It's almost like a constant stream of planes. But if you do coordinate and you do kind of talk with your team and alternate, I wouldn't say you need to bring a full AA setup, but having AA on like the Cleveland, that's why I say the Cleveland's so strong. That's why I say the Baltimore is so strong, because the extra AA. The Kutuzov did really well for our team. I mean, even the Chappie and stuff like that's going to do fine. But it felt like having those the extra AA boost is going to be really good. So this is where we lose actually 2 of our ships back to back right here. So I was thinking we weren't going to 5-star this. Down they go. I mean, that's a double kill right there by even the PvE the PvE ships. So kind of a bummer there, but we do kind of hold on. And this is one of the downsides of the Cleveland, is a long range, but I still find it to be one of the stronger ships overall. And we do have the Kutuzov. I think the Kutuzov is actually probably one of the strongest. Although having that radar at the start is actually really, really nice. One thing, though, I did notice is the CVs are basically offensive planes only. They seem to not use their fighters at all, which is kind of a bummer. I don't know if that's like a miss program or whatnot. The fighters just hang there. It just seems like if they're not even going to use the fighters, they should just straight up not even launch them, I guess, because they overall stare. But as you can see, I'm getting a little bit of a heal here, not too bad. And the Essexes and the Saratoga are both healing up too. And so there is the other aerodime, and I think they moved them up more. It seems like they used to be off to the side a little bit more. So But down, we knocked out one of the Tagos, so it seems like there's an Atago and a Zhao, which are kind of like the boss ships, and we can just kind of work down these a little bit more, and just trying to communicate with all the guys, like, hey, if you're low, go back, repair, because they're slowly going to come towards us. Yes, they are going to continue to launch planes, but if you die, I mean, if you lose one more ship, or two more ships, we're going to fail it, and we're going to get a 4-star, so... one thing that's good though is to just stay alive, and you can actually, as long as they're spotted, you can have multiple ships, especially something with range like the Kuda, the Chappie. Use that range and knock them out. They take a lot of alpha damage, so they basically get kind of wrecked when you're shooting at them, and you can get in there and just kind of, as long as they're spotted. See, the problem is right now that one in the top right is not spotted, so you can't really do any damage. So what do we have? One of our ships working down these ones in the middle, and then we're moving this guy up to take out this one, and then we have our Kudas off getting ready to take out this one. So range is good. Don't bring all Clevelands. I mean, it'll be relatively effective. As you can see, we're starting to knock down some planes and stuff, and gonna pop the Hydro. But overall, you want some range to take out these arrows, because if you don't, it's just constant planes, and they're not the worst thing in the world. They're going to get auto-dropped. You're going to be able to avoid them. But still, it does just add up. As you can see, a couple of our guys, even if they take one torp here or there, they'll eventually take them down. So the one thing I like to do, too, is post up on this point right here. And you'll see it when I get there. Because what you do is the CV is going to auto-drop, right, since it's a bot. What you can do is you can post up in this. You can spot this from just being close enough. And then they have to fly over you and back around. So you can do a really, really good job at just taking out a ton of planes. And do a really good job because they have to go around. Since these are bot ships, they're going to have to go around this point. And then you can basically destroy anything that's a cruiser because they're going to sail broadside. And, of course, destroyer because they're going to be either shooting their guns at you. So you can continue to just kind of dunk on them. And this is a really, really good spot. And we got a little bit of help from our red ship here. I didn't know this is even kind of a thing, but they end up getting a team kill. So the bot is going to be pink. So thank you, Shiratsu. I bet you their chat was super pissed. But even though we lost a couple ships early, we did recover, and we got some healing, and we got some guys coming back. But I'm gonna post one thing that really shocked me about this part was, and you can see this is where the ships spawn, is that all these ships were detected at one point, and so usually I was just gonna push around and go take it out myself. But since there's so many ships, there's no way I'm gonna push around. So I like to post up a guy right here. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to make basically an AA platform, and they're just going to focus on basically the guys in the middle, so you can get really, really good broadside shots on all the remaining ships. One, use the heals, get your health back up. I mean, you can't kill anything if you're dead, so just kind of focus, and don't get too focused. Don't get too overextended, because if you do, then you're just going to get focused by these bots, and they're just going to focus on things. So as you see right here, we've basically cleaned up everything. I don't want to overextend here and go into this area by myself, because if I do, I probably lose this. I can keep this thing lit, and this is when the Arkudazov starts to just hunt this down, and he's just going to tear right through it. You do a lot of damage to these, and then we have our Cleveland on the other side working it down. That's the first salvo. So just like that, I mean, he did like 12k. So it's not bad at all. And so I'm just going to kind of hang out here. Again, these guys are going to fire, so it's not like they're going to stay super stealthy. They seem to gun first, torp second. And but yeah, it seemed that they toned this down a little bit, because it was actually kind of difficult on the PTS. I'm not sure what they did, if they made the bots shoot faster, or maybe less planes, but I mean, we just knocked it out right there. We did a whole bunch of damage, and there we go. We cut people alive, even though we lost 2 guys super quick. If your team just, use comms, use the in-game chat, just tell everyone to take it easy, and you can get out there and do it. So just keep in mind, the first part is probably one of the more difficult parts. The second part is just attrition. As long as you just keep going and just stay alive, you're going to get it. That first part is really important to get towards those ships so you can keep the land base alive. Keeping those first ships alive isn't too bad, but getting to those land bases. So if you are running with pugs and you are just going to be the hero basically and have to carry a little bit, probably head right towards there, because you will just save your team. And then if you want to head to the spot that I was at, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But again, use the heals. You'll get through it. You can 5-star it, no big deal. And anyways, I hope this video helps you out. It's a fun operation. I'm really hoping that Wargaming puts some more resources into doing more stuff for like a hard mode in this. If you look at it just in the review, if you check out the or not the review, but the replay, it says hard mode. But I mean, it's obviously not. So I would like to see maybe a way to tune this up. Maybe just more of everything would be kind of cool, and have it be kind of, you know, have it be a bit more competitive, a bit more of a challenge. I mean, we went in there kind of just, all right, this is what we have to do, and we 5-starred it first try. The downside about operations is once you do it for the first time and you get 5 stars, you don't get any more rewards. You get mediocre XP compared to everything. I know the Nari one originally gave a ton of credit, so a lot of people were running that. But I'd like to see more incentive for continued operations, because I feel like there's a big PvE player base in this game, and I feel like, you know, it could get a little boring if you could just go out there and 5-star it every time. And of course, it's harder to 5-star as the time goes on, and people are not playing these aren't playing the old ones anymore. But still, this was overall a fun one. Added a lot of new stuff, added the night battles. So hope this video helps you guys out. I hope you guys are enjoying this operation, and let me know in the comments below what ship worked for you the most. For me, it was the Cleveland. I just think it's well-rounded and did the job awesome. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.